When you travel around Italy, you expect to eat delicious food, see incredible architecture and make unforgettable memories. However, that isn't all that's on offer. Welcome to Syracuse, a small coastal town in the region of Sicily with a huge history tied to ancient Greece. Hello everyone, I am Lewis. You are watching Lost in Travel and welcome to my journey around southern Italy from last summer. Previously, I made my way from Malta to Catania and explored everything the city had, from a street with 5 churches on it, God, the architecture in Catania is insane, to the most epic views of Mount Etna, Europe's most powerful volcano. What are the chances of Mount Etna, the most dangerous and active volcano in Europe, erupting on me today? After this tiring day, I just knew what would help me relax. A day by the coast. Hello everyone and welcome on here to a new Sicilian town. Right now I'm in Syracuse, which is one of Sicily's most ancient cities, but it's not just ancient in the terms of Italy. This has also got a lot of influence from ancient Greece. I've never been to Greece, so this might be my first signs of Greek life when I go into the old town and start exploring Syracuse. Also, how Italian is that view? So right behind me is the Temple of Apollo. These are commonplace around ancient Greece, so that is already the first sign of Greece settlement here in Italy.
I'm packing my things like with the chance that I should leave, and waiting for sunrise.
One of my favourite parts of travelling is being able to come to these places, see all the ancient history just mixed in, blended in with the newer buildings around it. And the Temple of Apollo is no joke to that. So I'm currently walking down one of Syracuse's old streets. This one takes me back to my last country when I was in Malta and walking through Medina and Rabat. I feel like this has got very similar vibes. You can definitely just imagine how the people back in the day used to walk around this town. So I have barely been in Syracuse for an hour and I can already tell you, if you're a photographer, you're going to love it here. So many alleyways, so many areas just to get away from all of the busyness with the tourists. And so many amazing photography opportunities. Honestly, every street, every corner that I turn, like, look at that. I'm in another world, guys. So the old town that I'm walking down right now is actually not called Syracuse, it's called Ortigia Island. Don't be mistaken, it is still part of Syracuse. It's the old part, and I feel this is going to be the area where I'm going to be spending basically the entirety of my day here before I get the train back, because this is the area where it's just so authentic and true to what I was imagining when I was going to come to Sicily.
Nothing we would change at all. A feeling that is deeper than the ocean.
Oh my, that water looks so beautiful. So if you are thinking of coming to Syracuse yourself while you stay in Catania, I will let you know how I made it here. So I got the 8:45 train from Catania Central, and it only takes about an hour and 15 minutes to get to Syracuse train station. And I'm going to say that the train service here in Italy is one of the best train services I've ever been on. So relaxing, so straightforward. I almost missed my train, but that was due to Google Maps taking me to a really busy roundabout. And I struggled to get there. I probably made it about a minute before the train left. Out of breath. I'm so happy that I managed to catch that train, because look out where you are now. Not even an hour and a half away from Catania. I'm out here in one of Sicily's most beautiful locations. This little spot is just so sweet. It's just something so magical. I've been just walking down, finding this little dead end just full of plants. It really just brings it to life. So I just stopped at the end of Syracuse for a little refreshment break and just to read my book and just chill out, bask in the sun. And honestly, it's times like that, it just feels so unreal to be here. Just reading my book, just looking out and being like, this is where I am right now. Anyway, it's now back to exploring. I've had my little rest. You've got to rest up when you're out for this length of time because my legs are going to be killing me by the end of this trip. But it's worth it for the little alleyways that I'm getting to photograph right now. Definitely with the Vespas just dotted everywhere, just perfectly. I feel like Italians just know the good compositions. A few folk gathered there to watch geese. I am only kidding, of course. Right behind me is Arethusa Springs, and it is believed in Greek mythology that Arethusa rise from her water home right here in this spring. Don't really know too much about it, and I'll dive more into detail in a narrative form, but yeah, Greek mythology here in Italy, who would have thunk it? Leave it to me to tell the fascinating story of Arethusa. The myth of her transformation begins in Arcadia when Arethusa came across a clear stream and began bathing, not knowing it was the river god Alpheus who flowed down from Arcadia through Elis to the sea. He fell in love during their encounter, but she fled after discovering his presence and intentions as she wished to remain a chaste attendant of Artemis. After a long chase, she prayed to her goddess to ask for protection. Artemis hid her in a cloud, but Alpheus was persistent. She began to perspire profusely from fear and soon transformed into a stream and fled underwater to Syracuse in an attempt to rid herself of the persistent amorous advances of the river god Alpheus. The goddess Artemis transformed her into the freshwater spring that we can now see today. It's a really hot day today, 26 degrees, but that sea breeze coming off the coast is definitely keeping me a bit cooled down. I've got to say, the people that I've met here in Syracuse are all very friendly. I even had some Italian woman that wanted to come and sit beside me when I was putting my drone up. She came up and just started speaking to me in Italian, you know, that's quite normal, I am in Italy. And then when she got ready to leave, she came up and apologised to me. I'm in Italy, like, don't apologise for speaking your own language, that is my fault for not knowing the language. We English speaking people do have to do a bit better, I think. Why do we always expect them to speak to us? So I've just made it on to Syracuse's main square, and it's not really a square, it's more oval shaped, but hey ho, it's still called a square nevertheless. But anyways, I'm going to go down it, I'm going to explore. The architecture is already blowing me away in this place. Even the bins fit the aesthetic here. So behind me is Syracuse's Duemo, and I've got to say, this is definitely the most ancient Greece fin I have seen.
Karina, playing through the stereo. You should have seen her and carry me on down the road. We took a detour. The bridge was out, who knows what
And
for.
right here has really made me want to visit Greece even more. I've always been interested in like Greek mythology and Hercules, and I even enjoyed Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so you know, go me, not many people enjoyed that. So seeing what Greece maybe looks like in Italy is really making me want to jump over and see Greece actually in Greece. What do you prefer, Italy or Greece? I know it's usually quite a complex answer for that one.
At the old convenience store, I left to try and find me, however I define me.
So what did you think of Syracuse? Yay, nay, do you think you'd go yourself? Please let me know in the comments section below. And anyways guys, that is where we're going to be wrapping up today's vlog. I hope you did enjoy it. That's it, I'm halfway through this trip already. It's weird because sometimes the days can feel quite long when you're by yourself, but looking back, it's crazy to think that the trip already started a week ago. Like, I can remember what I'd done quite extensively last week. Well, you probably hope I do remember that because it was only 7 days prior. But anyways, I'm just trying to say that God, time is flying quicker than I know it, and I guess I'll be flying back home to Scotland any time now. Well, I will be doing that next week. But anyways, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, then please smash the like button, share with your family and your friends, and subscribe, because we've still got so much going on in this series. Because tomorrow morning, I am checking out of this place. It has been a pleasure to be staying here in Catania, but it's time to move on, and I've got a long train journey ahead of me. So that's all I'm going to say. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you all later. Peace. See ya.
You come fly away with me. Imagine all the things that we could see. Yeah, don't you know that life's a dance? Come